Oh, shoot. Hold on. I swear.
Way to go, Nadia.
One day. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Inside All Day channel, Dames and Dork, episode 7.
Off to a great start.
I promise by episode 20, I will have this down. I'm Nadia, player 1 of the Inside All Day, and welcome everybody. It's exciting. I feel we have had a long break, right? Very long break.
Yeah.
So, enough fluff. I'm going to go right into it. I'm going to let the panel introduce themselves so we can kind of get right into it. So, Lily, tell the people who you are.
Wait, it's because on my end, I'm hearing like 2 different echoes of the show.
Can you hear me okay?
I will agree. I did hear a double.
Oh my
double
gosh.
play of the audio. So yeah.
All right, Nomi, let me look on audio on my end. Can you kind of take it away? Give me 1 second, okay?
Of course. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Dames and Dorks. I'm one of the hosts here, and I'm Nomi without you. And I'm glad to be back because it's been a long time since I've hung out with my friends and talked about stuff. And we lost Lily, but we'll get her back. And I lost Nadia as well. But oh no, there she is. But it's good to come back and hang out with my friends on stream.
All right, Mags, how about you? Tell the people who you are, where they can find you.
I am Magitech Mags, and of course, as my little subtitle says, I am practically everywhere. I don't think I sleep, honestly. But anyway, yes, I am here with these lovely ladies, and I am ready to get into these topics with our special guest here tonight. So let's. I won't delay it. Let's. Dr. Rachel, go ahead and take it away.
Awesome sauce. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Rachel. You can find me, like Mag said, I'm also pretty much everywhere under Sauron Cosplay. It's been quite the week just with work and finishing up the semester, getting grades in, everything like that. I've got an alcoholic beverage in my hand. I'm ready to go talk some great things, great topics with these lovely ladies and our amazing guest who this is my first time, I think, meeting you outside of Twitter, actually.
Yes, and our special guest, Vex. I'm so happy for you to join us. Like, I'm overly thrilled. I'm probably too hyper for this, but go ahead, tell people who you are, Vex.
It's okay. Someone needs to be hyper because I've been down here all day, but I'm slowly getting up here. I'm Vex Electronica. I too am in many places and don't sleep much. My secondary name is Brown Magic Bonus Hole because I'm brown. And I like to be inclusive of trans individuals as well. But yeah, I'm a YouTuber, I'm a podcaster, I'm a educator, I do a lot of things.
Henry Cavill's #1 fan? Sure.
I would say higher than #1 if possible.
I was trying to keep it PG before we went to PG-13 and then R-rated. Okay.
It doesn't. It just shoot up. Like I have to steady myself into R-rating territory.
At least for the first few minutes because of YouTube, just a little bit, just like kind of teeter in, and then halfway through. I mean, we're not monetized, so I really don't care. But yeah, just a few more minutes, and then you can go R-rated if you'd like.
All right.
Yes.
Sounds good.
That's fine. We're a very diverse group tonight, which is fun. We've kind of got all representation happening on the screen, except by So we're going to say hi to the chat, and then we'll dive into stuff. I just realized what is going on. It is my audio, I think. Anyway, chat. All right. Hi, Anthony. So great to see you. I feel like it's Tomby.
It is Tomby.
It's Tomby, yeah.
I know he corrected me the other day. He spelled it out with a B, with a little B at the end. Tomby.
Tomby.
Shmoo.
Ah, Smooth.
Shmoo.
Smooth the DJ. He's amazing.
Yes,
it's like 2 a.m. where he's at right now, too.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's probably just getting off work or something. Mm-hmm. I don't know if this is his late time.
The oldest gamer? I don't know. How old is the oldest gamer? Oh, wait. I don't want to dox anybody. I don't want to. Sorry. It's private information.
Is he older than, like, the concept of time?
Probably. Well, I say probably, and that's really rude of
Is-
me.
is-
'cause I don't
sorry.
even know who it is.
Sorry, that's
Yeah, he
actually
probably
really rude of
invented
me.
the first game.
Is that the
Invented the
Jennifer
first
Lawrence version of it?
Yeah.
Did you create tic tac toe?
Shadowhawks in. Who else we got? We got Comic Relief. Lily's
Hey.
back.
What's
Hi,
up?
Lily. Can you hear us okay?
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Driving me crazy because I heard like I thought one of my browsers was open with the link too, so I was hearing it like.
Oh, okay. Anyway. We have the lovely
Anyway,
Sherry.
so, hi
Hi,
guys.
Sherry.
I didn't get
Yes.
to go, so can I go do my intro?
Yes, please tell
Sorry.
the people who you are, Lily.
Hey guys, so I'm 300 Mares, as you know me from Twitter and other social medias. But hi, I'm great. I'm great. Well, I am doing great. I'm like really happy to be back. I'm still getting my voice back. Can you believe that? I got sick and I'm still trying to get over all of that. But I'm happy to be here with all of you guys. I'm so happy to see everybody's faces. I'm finally done with my semester. I'm done with all the hours. I survived working pediatrics with all the kids, and now I have baby fever. So,
Oh no. That's
Yes.
okay. That's okay.
So yeah, I'm on break finally. So I'm happy to be here. Yay!
You deserve it. All the hard work you've been putting into it.
Thank you.
So we have Gravy D. Hello, ladies in chat.
Gravy D.
Hey,
Yo.
Gravy.
Mando.
What's up?
Unchained.
Hey, Mando.
Mando Unchained.
Watch out for that blood sugar count.
He's on his way to see an all-female Iron Maiden tribute band.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. One day.
I'm
Oh.
curious. I'm actually really curious about that. Help me with this
Oh,
name,
Arcasoul.
Nomi.
Arcasoul.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Hey,
you.
Art.
Nomi is my helper with names because English is not my first language, and sometimes people just, yeah. Americas. 20
Yeah.
Americas. He's actually putting together our trailer for the D&D stream we're starting Saturday. So he's working on that right now.
Awesome.
We have Hi King.
Hi, King.
That's cool.
Green-haired anti-liberal. I like that.
Hey.
Yay.
Hey,
Gal,
GHAL.
Gal here.
Gal.
Gal.
Tom's here. Well, I think this is on your side, Nomi. Because
It
yes,
is on my side.
I always forget. We're also simulcasting from Nomi's channel as well. So it's not just the inside all day. I promise you, by episode 107, I will get that right for you.
No worries.
Hollywood Scholar.
Not
I wonder who
bad.
this is.
Oh, no idea.
Oh.
I don't know either. Who is this person? I mean, I don't know.
Mongoose. Hello.
Hey, Psychotic
Psychotic mongoose.
And I
Not
think we
Mongoose.
have both cannolis are in here.
Oh,
Hey, Cannoli.
Yay.
Which Mrs. Cannoli's episode was a lot of fun.
Hey,
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Sassy.
sorry I missed it.
She'll be back.
A lot of fun.
I promise you, she'll be back. Even if she
She
doesn't
will
want to
be
come
back.
back, she will be back. Lisa the McCracken. Vex versus that Star Wars girl. What does this mean?
Vex
Who's-
versus that
Vex,
Wars
care to
girl?
explain?
Yeah.
I think it's
What?
a Henry Cavill comment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, well,
And I think that's
there's
almost
room
everybody.
for everybody to be a fangirl. You don't have to.
There's no such thing as
Please.
lady gamers. Vader, get out of here. I might put you in timeout, bro.
What?
Get out of here. We have at least 4 gamers on here. I think maybe everybody's a gamer. I think, right?
I am. I guess
I'm a gamer too.
I'm a picky gamer, but
Yeah.
I'm a gamer, I guess.
Gal's a gamer.
I'm wearing a Boulder's Gate T-shirt that says "Girl Dinner." I'm just like,
I'm in a gaming chair, so
so am I. I was like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
yeah. Coming in here, starting that ruckus.
Yeah, he just came in here just to start something.
He's just trying to stir the pot in the
Yeah.
That's
a little
Vader,
bit.
but that's
If
Vader.
he wants, we'll finish it on Twitter.
I think he misses me. I think he misses me sitting next to him.
Aw.
I will, if you are rude in my chat, I will put you in timeout, sir. Be nice to the girls and me. All right. So our first top. Oh, by the way, before anything, subscribe to that Inside All Day podcast. Notified to be on all future Dames and Dork episode. 2024 is going to be pretty epic. We have a couple of big announcements coming our way, so make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. All right. First topic of today. Everybody's fanboy, Zack Snyder.
Oh,
Zack Snyder.
Oh, no. Sorry. Womp. I dropped the ball. Godzilla, and then we'll go into Zack.
A what?
I
was
would
not
rather
ready
start
for
with
that.
Zack Snyder. in all
Coming
honesty.
back on the show because I promise you, Vex, this is not normally how I am. I'm normally
12
really
minutes and
organized.
we're already off the rails.
Listen,
Yeah.
I went to the
Wow.
dentist and had Novocaine, 5 shots of Novocaine in one side. All right, so like
so
I'm
you're
a little
drugged up.
over- a little bit, yeah. So okay, Godzilla -1. Has everyone on the panel seen it or not?
Yes.
No.
I
No,
have
not
not.
yet.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
don't
you're
yell at
fine,
me.
2. Okay,
I'm going Sunday. I'm
okay.
gonna see
So
it
no,
Sunday.
but I think it's hit box office numbers pretty well, right?
Mhm.
Unexpectedly for what it was supposed to do, that they even extended the US's extension play through
Theatrical.
theaters. Yeah.
Just open in more theaters. Mhm.
I will tell you from my opinion, and I will let then Lily, Vex, and Nomi, you've seen it, right?
No, I have not.
Okay, Vex and Lily take it, but I thought it was great. I thought it was refreshing. I thought it was great. But Lily, Vex, you guys, what do you guys think? Vex,
Oh, okay.
you're the guest. You're the guest. Go first.
sorry. I really enjoyed it. I do think it's one of the better movies I've seen of this year, but I can tell that a lot of the I don't say this with offense. This just seems to be a general observation I'm making, that a lot of the people that are praising this or saying that Hollywood should take notes clearly aren't very familiar with Japanese film and media. Because I feel like this standard of character depth is pretty across the board for a lot of the big Japanese releases. So still phenomenal film. I'm glad that it's performing well in the West. It got extended up here in Canada as well. So
Ooh.
good movie. Very good movie.
I agree with you. I'm familiar with Japanese film since I grew up with it as an anime and then live actions and stuff. So I agree with you, but it was very refreshing for something because the theaters have been doing poorly. There have been a couple gems here and there, but overall I feel the whole year I think theaters have been doing poorly with box office numbers.
Yeah,
I mean,
whatever was coming to theaters just wasn't very good. There was a lot of gems that came to streaming that should have been in theaters, in all honesty. So
yeah, I agree. My favorite thing about it is the throwback to the old Godzilla movies with the guy in the suit where he's just walking like this, which is not a spoiler for you guys because it's in the trailer, but he does walk like this.
Yeah.
very
Go
yeah,
ahead.
just
Go ahead, Lily.
Well, I'm not familiar with a lot of Japanese media, so to me, yes, I was one of those people that said Hollywood needs to step it up because most of the stuff that I watch is American. And a little bit more on Netflix, all of the Korean stuff that they've been releasing. So that's been really good. That's as familiar as I am with anything like really overseas. So for me, yeah, it was a super amazing movie. I went into it thinking, okay, it's Godzilla. It's just going to be like really fun, really, whatever. And then I was crying like every 10 minutes. So
I cried a lot too. Oh my goodness.
Yes, like just everything. I was like, oh my gosh. I'm like, this is a Godzilla movie. And I'm like in tears on the floor. Like, leave me alone for a couple of hours. I need to collect myself. It was so good. It was so good. They did a great job.
And Vex, since you have experience with Japanese filmmaking and stuff, I went expecting over the top acting because they tend to be a little bit cartoonish almost with their acting with their movies, but I didn't get that feeling with this at all.
I didn't get it either. I think there's only one instance in, I'm gonna say maybe the final scene where I kind of saw that, but even then it worked pretty well. I find it depends on which genre of film you're looking at too. So something like, Godzilla's still kind of the monster stuff, but it's more mainstream because everyone knows the IP anywhere in the world, right? I find that intention was to be a little bit more serious, but it still kept a lot of that nice cartoony Godzilla element to which I appreciated. So
Do you think this will bring Godzilla back into? I mean, I know there are hardcore fans. I mean, the guy behind me was in a Godzilla T-shirt, like an old retro '90s Godzilla T-shirt. Yeah. So I know Godzilla and monster movies. There's always been fans of it. I'm a huge fan of it. I grew up with stuff like that. But do you think this is gonna kind of bring it back around? Because you know how certain types of things have cycles.
it's all
Especially,
right,
I know
but
that
Godzilla's already here in the West.
with
Yeah,
Monarch.
the Godzilla
Yeah, we have
movies. Yeah,
No,
with
yeah.
Monarch. Mhm.
And there's
I-
the Godzilla versus Kong movie that's coming out in April as well.
That's what I
Mhm.
mean. It goes through
Yeah.
cycles of it's popular in the box office and on movies, and then it takes a little bit of a break, and then it comes back. Like, you know, in horror movies, you go through tropes of like, okay, ghost stories are
Yeah.
popular, then possession stories are popular, zombies are popular. So, do you think we're moving away from superheroes now into monster movies, maybe?
Yes,
Nah,
I see it.
I don't see it personally.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
My reasoning though
Okay.
is that like every couple years there like the monster genre has never died or like just stayed still. Like there's always been like a consistent monster something coming out, whether it's in action, whether it's in horror, whether it's on television or not. So even I count the whole aliens thing as well as part of the monster genre. So
Mhm.
we've never had like I think the last big monster cycle we had was kind of in the 40s 50s where you had Universal's like monsters coming up, right?
Mhm.
And then it was
Yeah.
I would say a pretty consistent cycle there, but we still get regular releases like ever since. So I think it's more of a matter of because we have so much Godzilla right now with this film, then the American film in April, plus Apple's TV series. My bigger concern is this going to is the superhero fatigue kind of thing going to bleed into this where people are going to have monster fatigue now? So I still think there's a lot you can do
Interesting.
with the genre well.
Mm.
Have you seen any of Monarch? I've seen a couple episodes.
I can't stand it. I watched 3 episodes and
too.
it's the most boring shit I've watched in a It's as boring as Ahsoka to me. And I gave up on Ahsoka after 3
Wow.
episodes.
I watched it. I really like
Wow.
it.
Really?
I'm enjoying it. Yeah, I really
No,
enjoyed
like
it a lot.
to each their own. Like I don't like
Mhm.
to dunk on people if they have certain preferences because like entertainment is subjective. So I'm okay with that. But for me, it just like every character seems to be the same character. There's not enough monsters. There's only really one plot line that I want to follow through. Like I really don't care about the modern day plot line with the Japanese siblings and Kurt Russell and all that stuff. I'm not a huge fan of the time jumping simply because it doesn't seem like it's leading anywhere. The pacing is just really poor for this entire series. So I'm really not digging it. I haven't watched episode 4. I think episode 5 came out today then, right?
I've only seen like
5.
2
I think
episodes.
5, episode 5, I think. 5 or
Okay,
6.
so I haven't
One
caught
of
up to episode 4 and 5 then yet. Maybe I'll do that over the weekend, but like I really was excited for this because I think Apple more or less is doing pretty well. But I find like consistently with everything I've seen by them, strong start because I really liked episode 1. Strong start, then it starts to dip in the middle and then it picks back up at the very end. So I'm already seeing that dip start to happen by episode 3.
I can't remember. What is your rule about TV? Is it 3 episodes or 6 episodes?
I'm 3 episodes. If you don't get me in any way by 3 episodes in, then it's not worth my time.
I'm
Okay.
with you on that because that's what I did. I'm sure you're familiar with this show, Letterkenny.
Yes.
Yes. So, because the first episode, I was like, I don't think I like it because like it's a little weird, and then the second one is like, all right, it's building up, and third one is I was sold. So that's how I've
Yeah.
always done my shows because you have to capture my attention, and the reason why I stuck around is because the unwittingly humor that they have in it, and like the back and forth, like just the banter is amazing. So if you guys never heard of that show, Letterkenny, I highly recommend it because that's like my type of humor, and like that Lex is completely right on that. Because if you don't have anything to deliver, you don't have anything to give besides like whatever your narrative is, you lost me. And I'm not going to give you any more of my time.
Mhm.
I've seen 3 seasons of Letterkenny because it's one of Chris's favorite shows, and I think the last season I caught a little bit of it, and I feel it's the last season at least has been very repetitive with jokes and not very much new material, in my opinion. New storylines, but it kind of the same tropes that they're recycling, and I honestly think that show should have just went for 3 seasons and done.
Well, they're currently on their final season.
Oh well, there you go. Maybe a
So-
little. Well, seasons too long. I just watched there's a YouTube channel I really like called Recap and Chill. So I will watch recaps of shows that I really don't want to put the investment in, but I'm just curious. So I watched
Gotcha.
the Sons of Anarchy recap, and I was like, I am so glad I didn't put the time into this show because they obviously repeated a lot of tropes throughout each season, and it just got worse and worse towards the end.
Yeah, I got bored with that show, Sons of Anarchy. My sister was super obsessed with Charlie Hunnam.
Yeah,
and I don't blame her.
really into
But
it.
but what you said, Nadia, like it became repetitive. Like, okay, what else?
Maybe because I didn't like marathon it. I saw it when it was actually on,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't really feel it. I feel like if you marathon something and it kind of gets repetitive, that's probably why you don't notice. I was watching it live, like every single season that came out. I was watching it live on TV, so I never felt that.
Interestingly, that brings up a great point of it. Do you guys prefer shows that you like to come out weekly for the anticipation of that episode, or do you prefer to binge? Like have everything released at once?
I'm weekly. I prefer the weekly format. I retain a lot more if it's weekly. That's why, right? Because it's just like if I'm just I notice kids do this a lot, like especially teenagers. Like they just sit down and binge a show, and then when you ask them what happened in the show, they're like, "Oh no." And it's because you're just consuming everything so fast. I like the weekly format because it gets you to sit and stew in things. And then you start to, like, there's details that then you recall that you otherwise would, because you're not sitting and thinking of it, you wouldn't recall otherwise. But, I mean, I admit I binge everything I watch now. So,
Yeah.
but like Monarch,
And-
I was watching week by week. I liked doing it week by week. So I just kept doing that.
So like that's how my sister and her boyfriend live their life, is like they'll wait for the whole series to like end and then they'll just binge it. Because that's how they get through it. And I don't like it. I like to like live my life on edge and like, all right, what's the next episode gonna be like? And we got Nadia type in, or someone type in.
Sorry, that was me. Lily, I wanted to
me. Sorry.
I also wanted to ask you, Lily, because you liked Monarch out of the three of us that have seen a little bit of it. What did you like about it? Like what is
it's
keeping your
probably
attention
the
for it?
opposite of Vex. I like that there aren't that many monsters, that they're actually giving us a story with the humans, because that's what everybody complains about. Every single time there's a Godzilla movie, everyone's like, well, what about the human aspect? There's no human story. All we're getting are monsters like every 5 minutes. And I'm like, so now it's finally like a human story, and now that's what I'm hearing, that there's not enough monsters. And I'm like, but I do agree that I don't like the present day. I like the 1940s, 1950s part of it. I think they're much better characters. The modern day characters are just really annoying. Like the sister and the sister and the brother kind of get on my nerves sometimes, as they're so like annoying. They're just crying about everything, and I know they want to find their dad, blah 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 blah, but like shut up. Like do what you want to do and stop whining. Yeah. So I wish they would stay in the 1940s and give us that one. And sorry, kind of how they like formed Monarch and give us that entire story. I find them like 1,000 times more fascinating. I like those characters much better.
Same thing. I'm more invested in the older storyline than whatever is going on in the modern day.
So they shouldn't. They shouldn't have done like the modern part of it. I think they should have just stayed in the past and given us that, because I feel like we're getting the modern movies right now, so we don't need another storyline to go along with it.
Agreed.
Like, leave it alone. Yeah.
Well, like Lily, you and I went to go see the Voyage of the Last Demeter, or the Last Voyage of the Demeter, and how they kind of build it up for what is it, Van Helsing. I think they should have just left it alone, because it is based
as a closed movie. Yeah, I didn't like. I was disappointed with that one as well.
Well, it was terrible. Like Lily and I went to go see it together, and it had like so much potential. It was going up, and then suddenly crash. Like okay,
it just
like
it did,
like, until oblivion, and like. I don't know, just the acting was okay, but the story wasn't there. And we got a commercial for an Audi.
Sorry.
And our sponsor is
I learned this week that I'm not only the host but the producer, so I'm working behind the scenes as fast as I can. Lily asked me to bring this up because and I'm sorry to interrupt the train of thought, but I wanted to get this on screen. Continue, Nomi. We could talk about this in a minute
Dang
here.
it. And I forgot what I was talking about. But we were talking, no, wait, Last Voyage of the Demeter.
Yes.
They should just let that as a closed movie.
I
There's
don't
like
think it
no.
even did. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, finish. Go on.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I don't even think it did well enough at the box office to warrant a follow-up movie anyway.
Yeah.
No.
'Cause it was pretty
Dracula
bad.
on a boat.
And
Well, because
mean,
I think like halfway through the movie, you could kind of figure out what was already going to happen.
yeah.
it became
That's
super
what, yeah, like
predictable,
Nomi
yeah.
said, it was going so well until they started to reveal like little things, all, modern day audience things that you would recognize. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, well, now I know who's going to live. Now I know who's going to die. Now I know what's
Yeah.
going to happen. Now I know who's going to do this and that.
And
'Cause
they
give you
kind
all
of,
the clues.
yeah, and they kind of made the female like as the badass, like kind of putting like females
Yeah.
can do anything because she had the shotgun and she hesitated. Like, why did you do that, girl? You could have like ended it all, but no. And they still had to make her the hero, but they made the doctor the hero. And at the end, like, oh yeah, like it's gonna be
What
my
was he? The
mission.
doctor, the astronomer, the,
that's
the
what pissed me off
navigator.
so much.
Yeah.
That's what pissed me off in that movie so much because he had too many hats. Like, what the heck are you? Are you the doctor? Are you a philosopher? Are you an artist? Who the heck are you? Like, pick something, guy.
I still want to see it because my buddy David Deschmiel is in it, and I worked with him a long time ago. So anytime he's in something, I want to go and support it just to
fair.
support my friend. Anytime I see him in trailers, Chris and I will always turn and be like, "That's fucking David." Like, he's like blowing up everywhere. But I wanted to bring this up because Lily made a good point as we kind of curve back to Godzilla. The director did something that normally we don't see a lot with Western directors or actors nowadays with projects. And he actually went out of his way to thank Western fans for the film's success. Right, Lily?
Yeah, I think I had linked you to the Twitter page where it showed what he actually said. I think it was the very last link.
Okay, I'll pull that up.
I don't know if I had it on that page.
I am just all over the board today.
It's okay.
Christmas season, don't worry. It's the most hectic time of the year.
Yes, yeah.
Here it is. Perfect. Okay. Christmas season. Maybe I just had too much of the Lord's lettuce. Where is it?
Well, we got someone who's drinking. We got someone who's smoking the devil's lettuce.
I know. I haven't heard
Cheers.
Dr. Rachel in a while.
I'm still like dying over here. Sorry, guys.
And then we got Lily with the Starbucks.
Is this what you're talking about, Lily?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Perfect.
Like the little quotes that he said.
Okay, I can bring it up a little bit. We are excited by the tremendous response in North America. I've been reading the fans' feedback on social media and very encouraged by the passionate comments based on throughout the analyze of the film. In some theaters, I've heard there were even applause. Thank you for the warmly receiving of our Godzilla. That, my friends, is how you fucking do it. That's the equivalent of Tom Cruise, but Japanese.
Same height too.
I'm just saying it truly is. Like, dude, Tom Cruise, as crazy as he might freaking be, he still at least goes out of his way. I mean, even if he makes a cruddy movie, he goes, "Thank you for being in the seats. Thank you for, blah blah." He doesn't bring any kind of political garbage in a sense into their statement. Just like, hey, thank you for spending your money on seeing my movie. And this is almost equivalent to it. A little bit nicer said, I will get you, than those like pre-recordings you see at like what was the last one? Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning.
Yeah.
Dead Reckoning.
This is a little bit nicer, but yeah, he's the equivalent of like American.
To be fair, like just, I mean, not really in defense of America's cinema, but it's a different culture. Like that's just not something that happens anymore, especially since we've just been like in this consistent period of just like either painfully mid or just like overly political cinema at the moment. But like this is pretty common for like there's been a lot of like anime and manga creators that have done the same thing when their IP is blown up over in the West. So it's just the way that they choose to approach art and media, and there's also that sense of duty that's woven into the culture as well. So they have an extra level of kind of appreciation for things that just doesn't shine through the same in Western culture. I've
And
just noticed.
And
Yeah.
it's also
Mhm.
ingrained in their culture to be appreciative and grateful, and to be
Mhm.
humble, and how because they're very hardworking people,
Mhm.
but they don't do it for show, if that makes sense.
It's not for clouts.
Yep.
It's
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
This is what I wanted to bring up too. The creator of One Piece did it exactly as well,
Mhm.
because of how much it was loved in the United States. Netflix actually hit one out of the park
Mhm.
for the first
Mhm.
time in a while. I don't know how they're going to do with other anime adaptions, but hey, we'll see. Maybe they'll finally learn their lesson from Cowboy Bebop's. I've never
No.
seen the Cowboy
Mhm.
Bebop's anime, but I could tell how upset people were with the adaptation. I didn't even give it a chance, even as a normie.
Did you ever
Mhm.
watch the Netflix Death Note movie at all?
I
Yes.
did, and that was horrible.
I
Don't tell
have,
me
like,
you liked it.
No, I just have I have zero faith in anything Netflix does. Like, they're doing another anime adaptation of Devil May Cry, and I'm so worried that they're just going to make it overly political, because there are two very popular female protagonists in the series. So I think One Piece is like a one-off, because the creator also had a direct hand, right?
Mhm.
The One Piece creator was there with the scripting process and on set. So I think it was a different story, but I have nah, Netflix is just a no for me. Like
And it's
95%.
I just
Yep.
it's almost like, too, especially since they have a weird track record of, they produce something shitty, and then the
Mhm.
next thing they produce something like, where did this come from? This actually is great. And then the next
Right?
thing is, here's something that's going to be similar, but then that thing is shitty too. So it's like,
Mhm. No
you know,
consistency whatsoever.
you feel like
Yeah.
you're getting whiplash, or
Yeah.
you're getting
Absolutely.
your neck hurts from like looking at it like a ping pong table. It's going this direction, then it goes in this direction. It's
Mhm.
weird.
the best anime adaptation is clearly Dragon Ball Evolution, which has the same guy who plays Goku in it, plays the love interest in the first couple of seasons of Shameless. So they picked like
Oh,
some random
Kristen
white guy.
Chapman. There we go.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
I'm like, that works out. That
Mhm.
checks out. That's perfect. I just canceled Netflix yesterday. I was like, nah. The only thing I watch on it is Seinfeld. I'm like, why? I'm
I
done.
canceled Netflix when Cuties came out, and then my sister reactivated her account, so I use hers, but I use it sparingly, in all honesty. It's just when something drops. So I used it. Scott Pilgrim came out last month, so I watched that on Netflix.
Yeah, I saw your reaction to it on Twitter that like he dies. That's it.
Yeah,
That's like, it
it's
was
really
awful. I was
bad.
like, well, there goes everything. I heard it from Vex, so I trust
Yeah.
her.
It was
And
a
it-
fucking shitty show. Like, I'm still fuming over that show. I don't understand how that dude ever thought that version of his story was worth any time of day. And then I learned that he went through a pretty nasty divorce. I'm like, no wonder you fucking killed Scott off, because you're just completely emasculated by your own divorce, and you're Canadian to top it off. Ugh.
I live with
Well,
Scott
I think
Pilgrim's.
that's like a bad thing.
It saved me like a lot of watch time because I saw your reaction and I was like, oh, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. Like, I'm just gonna watch something else.
So trash. So trash.
Same. I watched yours and Copa's, and I live with Scott Pilgrim's #1 fan. Chris he has all the books, loves the movie, everything, and it saved us time. I think he would have just been heartbroken if we had
only
watched it.
watched the first 3 episodes. Did you forget? I watched the whole thing twice because I was like, I
Wow.
need to show these fucking
Dedication.
clips in my video to show how stupid this show is. Oh my goodness.
I didn't also know the woman who plays Ramona Flowers in the original movie, well, the only movie, is married to Ewan McGregor, and there's like a huge age gap. And sometimes he wears Ramona Flowers t-shirts. He has like one that says "I'm lesbian with her" or something.
I'm
I
lesbians
guess.
with her.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's
Yeah.
a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, that's a little weird.
I think
from the
he also
movie.
cheated on his wife with
He did.
her.
Yeah.
Oh.
And what's even creepier is that Mary Elizabeth Winstead looks almost one for one what his ex-wife used to look like when she was younger.
That's even creepier.
Wow.
Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
and
what
then
I want. Brie
Smooth also
Larson.
said, yeah, Brie Larson's in it. This is before.
And sings in it
yeah.
too.
And
And
that's
it's
her actually
fabulous in it.
singing. Yeah.
Fabulous in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
I want that Brie back, like who is actually good and talented and not very hyper feminist, like women need to get paid more and it's hard and it's dedication and I'm going
She
to
was
show
so
my
pretty
yoga
in that
videos.
movie too.
Yeah, she's gorgeous in that
I
film.
love that scene of hers. I love that song. I love everything about her in that movie. And then when I saw her like later on, I was like, "What?
What
That's
happened?
Captain Marvel?
Yeah.
What happened?" Yes.
I think we're circling back on the evolution of Brie Larson, though. I think once she's done with Captain Marvel, because I think she's done. She didn't even want it. I think she's over it. I think we're gonna get more talent. The talented Brie Larson back versus what we've received in the last couple of years as Captain Marvel. Because there's a movie I really like of hers where she's The Room.
Room was
phenomenal.
Her Oscar win.
Yeah. It's fantastic, and that's the Brie Larson I like to. That's the Brie Larson in my head, not Captain Marvel. Though I didn't see the Marvels, so
good.
I don't think I have time.
I didn't see it either.
Yeah.
I still haven't even seen Captain Marvel.
I don't. I know you only have a short amount of time with us, Vex, because you have to hop on for something else. But there's one topic I do want to talk to you about, and that's E3 being canceled, because I know you're a big gamer as well. Correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I got a White Claw so I can hear this.
Yes. So, by the way, I saw this death coming from a mile away.
Oh, everyone did. Everyone saw this coming.
Goodbye, E3. E3 is officially canceled. I wonder how many other conventions will start to kind of falter as well. Here we go. E3, once gaming biggest expo, is now officially dead.
Mm-hmm.
I like this little
Minecraft
cute.
flower.
I like the,
yeah.
I like the pixel.
I like the little pixel flower or the rest.
So, what are your thoughts, Vex?
I did a video about, because when so Reed Pop is the company that had taken over in order to take charge of E3, because 2020, 2021, and 2022 were all basically COVID fucked over this entire expo, in part, but that was like basically the largest knife in the back. So I did a video earlier this year because Reed Pop had backed out, and then they had canceled. I think there was talk that 2023 was going to be canceled just because that happened in like February or March, I want to say, and we were already kind of getting close to the summertime event, right? But like E3 got, like, it started off really strong. It had a lot of promise, and then in the 2000s and 10s, it started to bend a little bit to the ideology. So you lost things like the E3 girls, like all those scantily clad gamer chicks that they would have kind of model off products and all that stuff. They started to narrow down the focus as well, and then the price was also ridiculous. So vendors were paying $40,000-$50,000 just to set up at this event. And this is now, if we're moving into like 2015, 2016, now the internet is starting to become far more prominent, especially for gaming, because gaming on YouTube alone really blew up in that time period right there. So it just became more financially feasible for companies to be like, we could do all this shit ourselves and spend like a tenth of the money on all of it, and we can do it our own way. And then you also had like the Game Awards the Game Awards came up in 2013, and that became another expo for everything to get showed off. Then you have the PAX conventions as well. So I think E3 was just like, it kind of shot itself in the foot for its own reasons, and just, the competition was starting to come up, and then COVID was just finally it was pretty ridiculous how much some people were paying just to be at that expo. And that's not also then including all the employees. You'd have to pay airfare and all of that stuff to ship out, because all the bigwigs would always come to E3. So anyone saw this from a mile away. It was, I would say, mostly in part their fault, but either way, it's sad that it's the end of an era, kind of.
I thought it was interesting that it coincides with the games of the year this year because of the whole controversy of them snubbing like Hogwarts Legacy and just kind of catering a little bit to ideology and politics and not basing games off of like in the early 2000s off merit versus like, oh yeah, we have a ton of diversity in this game, or we have a ton of different options, instead of actually putting the work into making a viable great game that anybody with any type of background could enjoy.
Agreed.
And do you think now with this, that, and then with Twitch now with their new, basically Twitch to me is turning into Pornhub. They're like, once I'm like, at this point, just call it what it is. Where do you see the gaming industry heading from here? Do you see it branching off?
It's gonna take a pretty significant crash creatively real soon. It's happening now with all the layoffs that are going on. The fact that AAA gaming releases are just consistently mid at best as well is another problem. Then you have kind of the switch to digital, which I think is also affecting the industry in a different way. But I think there's going to be we're going to see a dip in AAA gaming over the next, maybe it will start next year, maybe the year after. And you're going to see indie gaming really take off. I think even just if we're talking 2021, 2022, I think indie gaming proved to mainstream audiences that it's worth just keeping a glance on. So we'll see, but that's where I see gaming going, right? I've just been disappointed with basically every major release I've played in the last few years at this point. Like my favorite game for the last 2 years, aside from Red Dead Redemption 2, was Boyfriend Dungeon. And that was just a great indie game where I just got to date and fuck a bunch of people. It was so much fun.
Oh, so it's Baldur's Gate light. Okay.
Basically,
Hold on,
but
I'm
a
writing
cuter pixel version.
I'm writing that note down because I want to play that.
There was a DLC too. It was like it's you have to kind of take it with a grain of salt because it does have the ideology in there. Like you can date like a trans character and all that stuff, but it's still a lot of fun, and it's a nice little like dungeon slasher as well, and it has a fucking rad soundtrack on. I loved it. I still love that game. I'm really hoping that a second one comes out.
Well, you also oops, sorry, go Max.
Well, look at the like I've seen several indie games this year seemingly get a little bit more attention than normal than some of the bigger names, including and people are looking back on more retro style type games like Sea of Stars, and that even included a really good soundtrack as well. So it's kind of, I think you're right, Vex. There's going to be, people are going to start getting tired of the mainstream, and they're going to be looking at smaller studios that are seemingly performing very well. I mean, look at Valheim. Valheim really did pretty well too. So I mean, there's other indie games that are coming out that I am keeping an eye on that I cannot wait for. This beginning of, I think some of them are being released in the beginning of next year or something like that. And some of them are really making an impact, and especially when if they're sending stuff out in demo mode or beta mode or whatever, and they aside from some minor details or minor things that need to be fixed, I mean, it shows you how much they have confidence in their games, and that's a big thing too.
Yep, agreed.
I mean, I just look at Baldur's Gate. Listen, I know I'm a D&D nerd, and it was disappointing also to hear Hasbro let off so many people before Christmas, and they plan on letting go a ton of more people in 2024. And I know Baldur's Gate is a D&D property, but I will tell you, this game is fucking amazing. From just the details, the level you can play it at, even if you're not a D&D if you're not familiar with D&D, it teaches you D&D, at least that's the 5th edition. And out of the gate, they came out with a complete game, and not a lot of studios can say that. It's like no patchwork I mean, they've had a couple patches and just dropping extra stuff, but really no problems with the game on any of the systems. But it's interesting you say, Vex, about them switching to digital, because I play on a PlayStation. I know I don't have a gaming PC yet, but I couldn't find a physical media copy of it. I went to GameStop and was like, hey, I would like to pre-order Baldur's Gate. We don't have it. What do you mean you fucking don't have it? It's a game that's going to be dropped in like 2 weeks, so I had to buy it digitally. I like physical media though to have, especially with my games, in case something were to happen and I just want to like plug in the disc. Maybe I'm just too old school.
No, I think it is a generational thing. I notice a lot of gamers that still because I'm the same way. Like it's the generation that's used to that, but I hate it at the same time because like there's like all those little indie games tend to not have a physical release, so like I'm pushed to have to purchase the digital copy if I want it. But if you're getting like like Boulder's Gate should have had one out the gate, a physical release, and I think they ended
Yes.
up doing the PlayStation one when the Xbox one came, like the Xbox version came out like a week or two ago. I think I
There-
don't
There's
they-
a deluxe you can buy for the PC that comes with like a statue and stuff, but that's like a
Yeah.
400, like 500
It's
physical
pricey. Yeah,
edition.
yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty pricey. Where I just want just the small
Just the
copy
game.
of it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just the game. You know,
Yeah. So
But-
I'm still holding out on Alan Wake 2 for that reason, because they went digital only, and I for the life of me I was like, why the fuck would you go digital only? Like that game, like the first, I thought the first game was pretty average, but it's had a consistently growing cult following since it came out like 15 years ago almost. Why would you go digital only with that release? So I'm holding out for a physical just to play that game.
Yeah.
I'm really not a fan of the digital ownership thing, especially if for me in Canada, if I buy something off of the store, I get taxed on it, and a base game for me is $90. So if I buy
holy cow!
if I buy a brand new game, it costs me like $103 after taxes, and you're telling me that that's going to be digital just for the base? No, I want a disc.
And to add on top of that, it's not just the pricing. They can almost basically give you, you're paying that full price, Vex, but then you're given it's like not even 100% a game. They give you DLCs and they kind of milk you to get more money out of you for it instead of giving you the full entire game.
And they can take it away whenever they want now.
Yes.
Well. So
look at Sony, what they did to their stuff.
You know what I learned the other day? Like Destiny 2, I think Nadia, you were here for that conversation in all honesty. But Destiny 2, so they have all the DLCs for it, right? So if you bought DLC that came out like what the year the game came out, it's gone. Like they just like you can't play that anymore because the game file apparently is too big, so they have to start erasing content in order to make room for new content. And like those Destiny DLCs were like $30-$40 a piece as well, and that's all gone. You can't access it whatsoever. I thought that was wild.
I can understand digital purchase for indie games who might not have the budget to do mass productions into physical copies. Completely get it. I'm one to go on my Switch and be like, oh, a game for $2, let me try it out. Game for this buck. That I completely get for indie developers. But for these bigger studios, moving into more a digital copy, I think it's going to bite them in the ass. I really think it's going to bite them in the ass.
I don't
because
think oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Because I know some people buy both. I know some people will buy the digital and then have the physical copy as well, just as a backup, or maybe they want to play offline or something, or they have an older system. But I also wanted to mention too, because I'm a big Harry Potter nerd, I'm really disappointed that Hogwarts Legacy got snubbed at the Game Awards as well.
I think that game just got thrown under the. I don't understand what the whole. Again, I did a video on this too because it's quite fascinating, just the social discourse around Harry Potter just because of J.K. Rowling. But I don't understand why it was left out, because I think it sold 15 million copies across all consoles, which actually it beat out things like Call of Duty, which is a first in a very long time. Call of Duty is always consistently the best seller of any year. But it's all politics, right? Like fans even said when they put up the list of games that you could vote for, like, why isn't Hogwarts Legacy on this list at all? It was, again, one of the biggest games of the year. So I'm not even a Harry Potter fan. I don't give a shit about Harry Potter, but I agree with you. It should not have been snubbed.
They didn't let you guys write anything in to like nominate it, or they just gave you a list and you had to, like, you couldn't type in what you wanted to vote
No.
for.
So what they do is like they'll select. I don't know who selects the list, but you're given a list of like 40 odd games or something like that. And then from there, it's just fans can go and vote for each category. And then when the show comes in December, then it's just like, here were the top nominees, and they announce it like the Oscars. That's it. So everyone that wins, it's the fans are the ones voting for it at the very least.
So it's probably the people that picked all of this stuff, and depending on their politics, they didn't pick it.
Two things
Yep.
when that came out. One, everybody was boycotting JK, and Dr. Rachel's a Harry Potter nerd like I am. Everybody,
Oh, yeah.
to me, I think there's a misunderstanding. It's almost like people just read headlines about her and don't actually listen to what she's saying. She has nothing against people. She just wants women to have women's spaces. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. She's not transphobic. She's not homophobic. She's not none of these things. She just literally just wants women to have spaces. And people, what made me really laugh during it is like people would buy copies of her books or copies of the game and just like tear it up. And I'm like, but you're still
We still
putting
got the
money in her
money.
books. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
What kind of protest is this?
I
Like,
think
y'all are
she
buying
even
our
said that
stuff.
too. Yeah, she retweeted that and she was like, I still got paid for it, so rip up all my books if you want. I don't care.
But also look at
Mm.
all the people who worked on these games who spent countless hours doing all the details into this stuff. I mean, they should be honestly they should be thanked, and they worked a lot of long hours. That game was phenomenal right off the bat, out of the gate. Again,
That
another
game
great
is
game.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, and I find people who weren't Harry Potter fans still enjoying that game
Yep.
too,
That's
Mhm.
what I
which says a lot
noticed.
about it.
Mhm.
But I don't know. It feels like the gaming industry is what Hollywood was like 5 years ago, ramping up with all this ideology and stuff, and then now we see Hollywood kind of even out a little bit with their tail between their legs, and then hopefully the gaming industry will maybe 2-3 years down the line will be the same. But I
Mhm.
also see the gaming industry is a lot easier for indie gamers to get in there and put their games out there more so than for an indie director to have
Oh,
to,
yeah.
a bigger project. Like you can make a game at
Anyone can
home.
make a game. One
Yeah.
of us can make
Yeah.
a game and we can list it on Steam for sale, right? But there's so many hoops you got to go through to get a movie at least theatrically released anywhere, right? So
Mhm.
But yeah,
Thanks,
that's
oldest
the
gamer.
extension of that's the extension of me being a gamer was just playing Hogwarts Legacy.
Fair.
And party animals. And that's it.
Oh, I want to
my-
acknowledge that Smoo. I want to acknowledge that Smoo is a Hufflepuff, and it's fine because there's dozens of us, dozens. So
Yep.
I'm so excited. There's another
I'm-
Hufflepuff here.
I'm married to one. Yep.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Lily and I are probably Slytherins, right, Lily? You're
No,
probably
I'm a
Slytherin.
Gryffindor.
You're a
I'm a
Gryffindor?
Oh, we've got all
Ah.
representation. I'm Ravenclaw.
I'm
Oh!
Ravenclaw as well. Yeah.
I'm a Slytherin.
Mags.
I'm
Max is-
definitely a Gryffindor.
Yeah. I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Dang, Lily, I thought you were in the dark side with me, girl.
Not in Harry Potter.
Guess I'll be the only bad guy, I guess. Sorry about that. All right.
Sorry, Nadia.
It's okay. All right, we'll move on from games. We're over games. All right, kind of talking to games. I do kind of want to, because I know you have a love-hate relationship with him, Vex, Zack Snyder.
Love,
Speaking of games,
love is a very strong word to associate with Zack Snyder. Hold on.
speaking of games, do you think he'll ever leave Fortnite to actually finish a project again? What did he say? Let's see. I got an article for us. Zack Snyder reveals 4 surprising movies that inspired his new Rebel Moon. Is anybody really excited for Rebel Moon?
Nah.
No, I mean,
No.
it like one trailer kind of like slightly piqued my interest. I think it was like one that was a couple months back or something like that. But then now I'm looking at it, like the latest trailer or whatever, and I'm thinking there's so much stuff to be like. Is this going to be a 3-hour movie or something? Because
Probably.
there's just so much. Did anybody feel like from the trailer there's so much going on? I'm like, how are they going to fit this in an
Yeah.
actual movie unless it's like 3 or 4 hours? And I don't.
I haven't
Two-parter.
seen it.
So the
Yeah, and then-
I haven't seen the
and
latest
it's a first
one.
parter. Yeah, I'm sorry, Rachel.
The more I
That's
see
okay.
of it, the less excited I am to actually watch it.
Yeah,
I'm with you, Lily, on
Much.
that.
Yeah. Like Max said, it's just this man, when they let him go free with everything, he does not know how to edit himself. And so every single idea that he's ever had is in this movie.
Yes.
And it's
Wow.
just it's too much. Like sometimes you have to just take some things out of it. Because I think someone had said that this was supposed to be along the lines of the movie he would have directed for Star Wars.
Yes.
But the more I see of it, the more I'm like, from where? Like, I don't. Maybe that's a good thing that he never got to direct a movie for Star Wars because I don't see Star Wars in
This is
any
the Star
of
Wars
this.
movie that Kathleen Kennedy declined. That's the only interesting factor to me right now. Kathleen Kennedy, with everything she's done, this was not good enough for her. So that, that's
Maybe
it.
not. The Force is not female enough. The girls will tell you. I have a shirt in mind that I want. I want the front to say the Force is female, but I want the back to say make Marvel male again, just to confuse the hell out of people. Like, where do you really stand on this, Nadia? Like, where are you on this? Go ahead, Lily. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh no, that Kathleen Kennedy probably didn't greenlight this movie because the protagonist didn't look like her.
Insert.
Probably.
I feel Zack Snyder. So I have a love-hate relationship. I love The Watchmen. I thought it was ahead of its time. I also liked the Vegas zombie movie that was a little fun on. It was fun. I don't think it was like Oscar worthy, but it was fun. To me. Plus, I had friends who worked on it as effects artists, so I was like, "Oh, this is cool." But like his DCU, other than Henry Cavill, I think he's got to let it go. I think fans have to let it go. I think it's dead. And now there's like rumors like this where he's opening to finishing his DCU saga if Netflix bought it. But by the time he's ready to finish this, they all will be too old for their characters. Am I right? Am I wrong?
I think if they do revive it, he'll probably end up having to cast other people in the roles. Just like you said, they're too old, or they'll have moved on, or they'll be like Ben Affleck and just look fucking miserable throughout the entire thing. But just let it go. Yeah, Snyder fans are literally the cringe of the universe. I honestly think that they should all consider calling maid services because they think Zack Snyder is so amazing. I don't understand the fascination with him. I think, maybe he has a few good ideas, but he doesn't know how to execute them.
Yes.
He puts too many slow-mo things, too many CGI effects. He's just not a good director. I can't stand Zack Snyder. Objectively, and this is not, I got on the Zack Snyder hate train, quote unquote, very late. Because I didn't care about him, right? Because I wasn't following the Justice League stuff when it all came out. So, objectively, he's a shitty fucking creator. Objectively.
Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
He loves to play Fortnite, though. He loves to play Fortnite lately. Do you think he plays as Superman in Fortnite?
Oh,
no,
God.
because it's not cat.
Plus, did you guys see that he fully supports Amber Heard? So
yeah,
I saw that.
Yeah. So after that, I was like, "Ooh, I guess I'm not gonna support you anymore." I think I'm gonna cancel my Netflix, and then when they give you the reason why, I'm gonna be like, because Zack Snyder supports Amber Heard. Bye.
I never thought I would agree with Tom, but I actually agree with this. I actually do like the Man of Steel movies. I do. I mean, it's I do. I'm a weirdo. I know.
That's
I can't believe I'm
the
agreeing.
one that was good though. If we're even then, I think it still had a lot of problems, and I can still say that was the best of all of the movies he did.
Yeah. Maybe with the Amber Heard thing, maybe he's into fecal play.
I just think maybe Amber was probably fucking him at one point as well.
That's what I'm thinking.
Out there. Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't get it. I mean, she's an attractive person. Like, obviously, she's above attracted than the average woman, but I don't get it. Maybe the men.
That has to be it.
Must be, as my grandmother used to say, must be made out of gold because, I don't know. I don't know. Men in the chat, please tell me, is Amber Heard attractive, not attractive, fecal play or not, whatever you're into? Tell me.
And that includes Amber
out
Heard
yourself.
now that the alcohol has run its course on her and she's starting to look kind of haggy.
Yes, she is. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, she's also running out of money too, so there's that.
That too, yeah.
There's that too.
I could give her a couple ideas, but they're probably MA rated for this.
She can have her chance on Twitch now.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to Vex, what do you think about that? I know we're kind of curving everywhere. What do you think about that whole thing with the whole the girls that
I'm gonna come back to Twitch. That's what I think. I'm gonna reactivate my Twitch account. Now
really?
I can make a living off of Twitch now if that's the case.
I wonder if men could put like socks on and do the helicopter thing, and would it still, as long as they're like covering things?
Oh
No,
my
you know,
God.
If
a
it's art,
one-way street.
If it's art,
if it's
but what if
art,
it's art? What if they put like
That's
you know,
artistic.
What
That's
if it was
fun.
like what if it was a crocheted like elephant that's
yeah,
just
that's what I'm
covered
saying,
with
like a
rugs?
little
Yeah.
elephant guy, and it's
I mean,
just like
they could do googly eyes and a top hat or something.
yeah.
Like that.
there you go.
What if it's a banana?
I mean, it would be the it'll be the legit was it zucchini or whatever. They can
Oh,
paint it.
Whatever-
paint it.
We should do
Whatever
that.
Chris Evans did in another tea movie, just put whipped cream and a
Yeah.
cherry and everything on top. There you go. Mhm.
We are
It's
giving
so-
the guys in chat so many ideas.
Yes.
so
You're
the guys
welcome.
are
We have an
going,
opportunity.
the
Make
guys are
that
going
money.
wild in the chat.
I
See you
really thought
guys.
Twitch
Good
was
to see
gonna
you.
put their foot down. I really thought Twitch was gonna be like, we don't condone
No, of
this.
course not.
No, like because I know hot
That's
tub
money to
things
them.
have been a while, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. The one chick that's been going around with the video, the redhead, fucking looks like a linebacker. Holy cow!
Yeah.
I
I
want
thought
to
that was
know
a-
her
I
workout
thought-
routine.
That's because
I don't
she
want to
doesn't have.
be
She's like she's got a
disrespectful,
butter
but
face.
I thought it was a dude.
Yeah,
thought
she
it was-
has
I thought
a
it was
butter
too.
face. Yeah, Max is right. She has a butter face.
What's a butterface?
It's
An
it's
ugly
basically
She's-
it's basically
that
but
she,
her face.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Butter
But
face,
her
yeah.
face.
Yeah,
I thought it's like actual, but it looks like actual butter.
No.
I'm glad
No,
Naomi
Wait,
understood it.
Nadia. Oh, come on. I got
So is-
curious and I looked at that. So Morg Pie is her name. So I went and saw her Instagram because, of course, you know, if she's doing that on Twitch, she must just be posting basically nudes on Instagram. She's got a nicer body when you look at it at a different angle. Like,
Angle, okay.
yeah, it's just like straight on. She does have pretty big shoulders and it looks more masculine, and the haircut's
Like
not
she could be a
doing her any
linebacker.
favors. Yeah.
I don't understand the haircut for women nowadays where the bangs are like
Yeah.
the Scream 2 or Scream 3 Courtney Cox, like
Ugh,
very
yeah, I don't get
small
it either.
cross. I don't it's not very attractive.
Yeah.
No,
it
even
doesn't
higher
look on
up.
anyone.
It's like
right here, like right.
yeah. I'm like
right
it
here.
just accentuates your forehead, and
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Maybe
I didn't
think
even know
we
that
would
was
go
like
with
a
that.
trend again. I think that happened like sometime in the early 2000s. maybe?
Yeah,
In the
Courtney-
90s.
Courtney Cox has that haircut in one of the Scream
Yeah.
movies. Yeah. Now it's back.
I'm
I
like,
guess
no, don't bring it back. It's ugly.
it looks horrible. Like there's a lot of things they're bringing back from the early 2000s and 90s, and that's one of them that does not need to be brought back.
Loose
No.
clothes is coming back. I went shopping earlier today, and I'm like, I used to wear this when I was a kid. Why is this coming back? I
Was it
looked
the-
frumpy. I looked frumpy. I was like, and then now the frumpy clothing, like the frumpy style is back. Like, okay, like I
Yeah.
still have my clothes back from when I was in high school. Why are they selling it for like $50?
Mhm.
The sweater vest with the undershirts, the
Mhm.
like layered tank tops,
The
the
wide leg jeans are coming back. Bell bottoms are starting to come back
Yeah.
as well.
The
Yeah.
I
flare,
will live
yes.
in my skinny jeans. Get the heck
Me
out of
too.
here.
I'm
I'm
not
done.
switching
Yeah.
anymore.
Well, it-
Mhm.
Dude,
Thank you.
it's winter. It's cold season. That means leggings and a huge shirt for me. That's my outfit for the
you.
rest of this winter.
And not only
Mhm.
that, but like you want to wear boots and such. I mean, skinny jeans are perfect with boots. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
All of us girls that grew up with bell bottoms or whatever, or wide leg pants, and we had to tuck them in our boots.
Oh my
Not
god.
fun.
yeah.
I would have to use
No.
like my socks
Never
over the
again.
jeans to keep the jeans down.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I would do it.
Or when
Remember
they
how
would get
dirty? Remember how dirty the
Oh yeah.
like, bottoms
Yes.
and bell bottoms would
Yes.
get, especially
That's
if
what I
you
was-
live like up north in snow and stuff? No, don't bring that back
No.
unless you know how to sew and can fix your jeans. Don't bring it back.
They would get like ratty at the back of them, dirty,
Yep.
so I would have to cut them. Yes, as a kid.
Yep.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't. It's all right. It's a tell of times. Soon they go backwards, so it'll be the 80s again, the 70s again, 60s. It just fashion is just keeps constantly keep going back. All right. So Zack Snyder. We done with Zack Snyder? I think we're done with Zack, right?
Yeah.
Or
I think we're
Zach.
done with Zach.
I
What was
think
the topic
well,
with Zack Snyder? Hold on.
Huh?
for anybody that's actually gonna watch it, I think it premieres tomorrow, right?
What?
Rebel Moon?
Oh shit! Does it?
Yeah,
Yes,
I
it
think
does.
so.
I think
Let's
so.
I
see.
think I added
I
that
thought it
in
was
the
next week. Hold on, let's see.
No, I think it's like
No, she's right. December 15th
Tomorrow.
tomorrow.
Oh, it
Shit, I
moved up.
canceled
Wow.
Netflix.
I'm like, not that anyone here is excited about it, but just in case you want to watch it and give your opinion on it. Like I'll probably watch it, but
Now I'm gonna have to reactivate Netflix just to watch it
It
tomorrow.
still says the 22nd for me.
or just
Well, you're in
part
Canada,
two.
honey.
You're in
Maybe,
Canada.
yeah.
Maybe it's different.
maybe.
It says that
Aw,
there's a
That
premiere happening
sucks. That's
tomorrow.
not fair.
My husband just passed this over to me.
I
Little
I
Banksy
want that.
Charmander.
love
want
Charmander. Charmander was my
So
first starter
cute.
ever. He's
Charmander's
one in
my
my book.
starter too.
Yes, that's why we get along,
Nah.
Nomi.
Squirtle Squad all the way.
Oh.
Squirtle for me. Yeah.
Squirtle Squad.
Dr. Rachel.
Yeah.
You and I, girl. Yep.
Yep.
I feel ya. Squirtle.
Oh, yeah.
Squirtle. Sometimes this can sound inappropriate, but okay. Anyway, what was your question about? Yes, so Rebel Moon in the States is tomorrow. When's part 2 though? It's like a part 1, part 2,
April.
right?
April
Fucking
is
April? Fuck it. I'll wait till watch both of them back to back. That's a long time.
Nadia, wait until April. That way you can do like the free trial thing or whatever, and then cancel it after the fact. So there you go.
That's a smart idea. The only reason I would go back to Netflix is for Stranger Things season 5 because I've watched all of it. I have to finish it. I have
same.
to. It's just
Or just sail the high seas. That's how I'm
Yeah, I
watching
was gonna
Monarch.
say.
I'm not paying.
That's
for,
how I do it.
I'm not paying for Apple. I'm
Mhm.
sailing the high seas for it.
What's sailing the high seas?
pirating.
Pirating.
Oh, I'm learning so
Yo,
much
me
today.
ladies.
Wow, maybe we should just have a stream where we just teach Nadia all these like terminologies that we know.
I was so sheltered as a child, I guess.
I was sheltered. I was
I mean-
homeschooled.
I mean, you should at least get to know the history and the lore of the Pirate Bay. Let's put it that way.
Oh, I know
Yeah.
Pirate
Oh,
Bay.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
downloaded music illegally. I should say this on stream. Now the FBI probably coming after me. But I didn't buy a lot of my music or my ebooks.
Yeah, as the second iPods came
Mm.
out, I just
Mm.
downloaded everything off of LimeWire.
LimeWire. Yeah.
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 Oh shit! I've been doing that before all of that stuff came out. Oopsies.
I probably ruined 2 computers just because of my illegal downloads of stuff and just not knowing
Yeah.
about viruses and stuff.
Oh
Which,
yeah.
funny enough, I have a funny story. So obviously I'm a 80s kid. I grew up when the internet first came out, and my grandmother told my dad, he's like, stop letting her on the computer. They have viruses. She could get sick. She really thought, she's from the old country. So like she didn't speak English. So she was like, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's very sweet. Very sweet. That's not how you get sick, Grandma. That's how you get sick. But yeah.
That's so cute.
Okay, we're done with Zack Snyder. We're done, right? I think.
Yep.
Anything else added?
Get it going.
Okay. Lily, what should we talk about next? Because I'm all over the board and I feel like you are way more organized than I am.
Oh man, I don't have the. Let me see
So
if I
I'll
can
give you
pull
a couple options because I know Vex, you're going to be leaving soon. So we have Dune 2 trailer, Christmas movies. We could also talk about the Golden Globe nominees and Critical Choice Award nominees, Lady Ballers, or
I think Vex saw Lady Ballers.
did you
I
see
did
Lady
see
Ballers?
Lady Ballers,
Okay.
How
So
about
let's
she
talk-
gives us like a little rundown
Yes.
on?
I am
Did anyone else
100%.
watch it?
No.
Listen, I'm not going to pay to watch it on Daily Wire. I'm just not
Again,
gonna
this
pay
is
for
where
that.
pirating comes really handy
Yes.
because I didn't give any money to Daily Wire to watch this either. So it
I heard that it wasn't that great.
was terrible. Objectively. Like just objectively as a film, it was really terrible. So all the cast members more or less are all Daily Wire personalities that we're all familiar with. So Jeremy Boring, who's the CEO of Daily Wire, he's the main character. And he used to be a really popular basketball player. Then, he was making a lot of money. He was getting the ladies and all of that stuff. And then I guess his career took a dip, and 15 years later, he's struggling to make money. He's divorced, and he's just not doing very well. So he ends up like in a desperate like moment of employment. He goes to this old bar that he used to frequent like 15 years prior, and it turns out it's become like a drag breakfast like restaurant or something like that. And he finds one of his old players there. And so they make up this thing like, oh, you know what? We aren't good enough for the men's league, but if we can get the old team together, maybe we can enter you guys into the women's league as transgenders, since that's the whole thing. And that's like the basic plot. And of course, there's some big moment that happens, and then they have a moral revelation, and it's a happy ending. The jokes weren't good. I actually labeled this movie as the woke equivalent of an anti-woke film. Politics took the forefront for everything. Even the jokes, the plot was all over the place. The acting, I think Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh, I think their characters were funny, but out of that, like, it was very like C-class acting. There were things that just didn't make sense. There were plot devices that were introduced that never used. It was way too long, and the best jokes, which weren't even that funny, were all in the trailer as well. So
Wow.
it was not a good film at all. I don't understand how, and like everyone I've talked to, like nobody enjoyed it. Like they either were bored or they just were wondering what the purpose of the film was.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's disappointing.
Yeah.
very
Yeah,
disappointing.
it's pretty disappointing.
I mean, sorry, go ahead.
It reminded me of the essence of the cringy early 90s comedies, and that's what I thought they were trying to go for.
It doesn't know what kind of comedy it wants to be. That's the other problem with it. So if it could nail down at least one type, maybe I could be a bit more forgiving. But this script just needed more rewrite. If it had just gone through a few more edits and they had someone that was actually a screenwriter go through it as well, I think you would have gotten at least a decent comedy. But it was just like somewhat like, it was like break room jokes that maybe like all the Daily Wire employees had, and there's like, oh, this is a big word in a movie, and then they just stitched it all together, and used some like unpopular father like subplot to try and tie it all together. Yeah,
That's disappointing. Because I really, Chris and I were ready to do a Daily Wire membership because we also want to see that high school shooting one, the one with Gina in it too. And we're like, okay, if Lady Ballers is worth it, let's go so we can watch all of their films. Because I know they released What Is a Woman on YouTube a couple months back, and we watched that. We thought it was great. It was a great thing, but that's disappointing to hear. Because their membership is not it's not cheap. It's not at all.
No.
It's like $100 and
It's like $168. Only $1
Yeah.
short of something cool. Yeah.
per year.
Yeah.
yes.
Mm,
They
yes,
don't
per
they
year.
don't do monthly. They do just per year.
That's wild. You can't even do
Yeah.
a monthly
Oh wait, you can do
No.
monthly now.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
monthly plans do not include access to Bend Key Kids Entertainment though.
Oh, so that's their new children's
Mhm.
film.
Their children's
stuff.
network.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive. I mean, I know a lot. Like, I know Crowder was like $90 or $80 a year, I think. Who else? Timcast has different tiers. And I went to look at Daily Wire thinking, okay, maybe it's going to be around the same, right? About $80, $90 for the year. That's cool to me. No, in the hundreds. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm sorry, guys. I'll just watch your free shit on YouTube. I really am sorry about that. Yeah, Daily Wire is more expensive than The Blaze, which is weird to me.
Mhm.
Which would make sense. They would try to make it more affordable to be accessible for more people.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can I say something more controversial? Like,
Uh-oh.
Sure, go ahead.
That's
Yeah.
Don't get kicked
tell
off.
me why. I like their stuff, but they're only catering to the rich.
Uh-oh.
You're cutting out. The Daily Wires come for you.
Yeah, Daily
The Daily Wire got you.
Show up.
Go away. But what I was gonna say is like Daily Wire only caters to rich Christian conservatives, and they're only
Yes.
white. So that's the reason why people can afford it, because they're producing the right things they want their families to see. So
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It's okay. I think we got your general idea.
Yeah, continue, guys, while I fix my stuff.
I don't think they're
Yeah.
just catering to the Christian families, to be honest, because Ben Shapiro's a known is it Jewish individual? Jewess.
He's Jewish.
And
Yeah.
he has not been quiet about that. Pretty recently there was that tiff between him and Candace Owens about something anti-Christian that the Daily Wire did. So I think they're less religion based, and it's just like it's more like, let's just go back to the way things were. Like they follow Fox's model, I would say, is closer, where they know that they have a bit of a Christian base that they can apply, but most of their stuff is not directed at a Christian base. So like even Matt Walsh or like Michael Knowles, when they tend to approach things, Matt Walsh more, I think Michael Knowles is a bit more in the middle, because I like every video he says that he's a Christian in one way or another. But it's more like the ideals that they take from that to try and push through their content, as opposed to the religion. I thought like they have Candace Owens as well, but I don't like any of the Daily Wire people. I think Michael Knowles is the only person I actually like on there.
Yeah.
Same.
And the rest are all insufferable. I think Candace Owens is a straight up cunt. I don't know why they bothered putting her on Daily Wire at all. Jordan Peterson, like I already was pretty questionable about him, and when he signed on to Daily Wire, I was like, this guy's just in it for the paycheck at this point. So
yeah,
I like Michael Knowles. I cannot stand Matt Walsh because he tends to try to start culture wars on our own side instead of just accepting the fact that people have different hobbies. Listen, man, if you don't like to pick up a video game and you don't like to watch a movie and the only book you like to read is probably the Bible 24/7, it's all on you, dude. I completely get it. But if you have no concept of culture and not realizing that culture drives things, like our media drives things. It's how people think and consume things. Not a lot of people consume news 24/7. They consume video games, TVs, books.
Yeah.
So like if you don't believe that's going to have an effect no matter how old you are, then you're out of touch.
And not only that, it's almost like, because I've noticed this too, where it seems like people like that, they like to stir stuff, they like to start stuff. And then when you do point out their take as, hey, this is not a good take, and you give your reasons why, and then you get the reply people saying it's just jokes, bro. And I'm like, but you're also part of the problem here, and you're kind of gaslighting the situation. Thank you. So because I've had that happen to me a few times when I've pointed out his takes on like games and anime in general, and I've had it from people. Some people kind of in mutuals, and not our mutuals, but you've seen that where you see people and you go, it's not a joke though. He's not doing it to joke around. And I've known of people like Matt Walsh for a very long time, back on his Facebook days from like when I was in college, and that's from like 2007 to 2011. So I have seen some of the same type of patterns, and it doesn't seem to want to move the culture forward in terms of actually trying to have a balanced approach.
No.
It's more, I don't know what it's basically the left's equivalent of the right. Let's just put it that way. It's kind of annoying.
That's why to add to that, I had added the Taylor Swift thing, because that's going to be very important coming up to the election season. Because
what's the Taylor Swift thing?
That she's the person of the year for Time magazine, and she's everywhere. And they're setting her up for this. My point is, this is why you need to pay attention to culture and what's happening in it, because it looks like they're setting her up to be this big old person that's going to turn the tide with all of the Swifties. So she's going to be out here promoting somebody, just like they did with Cardi B. And that's why we always lose on our side, because we never we never pay attention to the culture. We always dismiss it as, oh no, you people have no lives. You guys have nothing else to do. Like, you guys should be reading your Bibles 24/7. And it's like,
Mhm.
no, you can have hobbies too. You can have your favorite artists. You can have movies. You can play video games, and yeah, but they don't use it to their advantage. But if you look
Yep.
at it, Taylor Swift is everywhere. She's being promoted everywhere. She just became a billionaire, so just wait. She's gonna have something to do with this next.
You know what? I
election
feel like the
season.
whole push for Taylor Swift is a little bit more insidious from a different angle outside of the whole Democrat thing. So she's 34 now. She's had
Oh no,
14 boyfriends. She has
conspiracy
no
theory going.
children,
Yeah.
hasn't been married. She just became labeled a billionaire. She's proof that you don't have to, or she can be pushed forward as proof that you don't need to fall into a traditional like female role to be
Well,
happy, so to
that's
speak.
why,
I-
because that goes along with it. What does the left keep wanting to do? Exactly her. She's their poster child for it.
Mhm.
And it works out better that it looks like she doesn't age anymore past like 28. So it's like, oh, I can be young still as well by 34 and be run
Mhm.
through. So
I agree
That
with
is,
both
that
of
does
you,
have a
but
downside.
I will
Sorry, go
say
ahead.
I like Tim Pool's theory on this because George Soros like bought up all her music right underneath her lately. So she's got a big beef with him, and a lot of conservatives are making fun of her, going after her for it, when this should be the middle ground to be like, "Oh, you don't like George Soros? We don't like George Soros." So like we should find something in common with their fans. But I agree with both of you. I think it's a setup aware of like, hey, you don't need a family. You don't need to do this. You can be successful without all of this. Go ahead, Dr. Rachel. I mean to interrupt you.
No, I was thinking about that point of like how they're kind of setting Taylor up for, this thing of like focus on career, don't focus on family and relationships, and you'll do great. You'll earn like $1 billion and whatnot, and you'll look marvelous doing it. Yeah, how much of that is money bought, but that's the other issue. That also sets her up for failure because now she can't have a long lasting relationship. She won't be able to get married or have children because then that'll go away from the image they're setting her up for. So if she wanted to actually fall in love and have a real relationship and get married and start a family, she's going to be pushed out of that sphere so hard.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'll
It's
drop
going
her
to be
like a hot potato.
detrimental. Yep.
it's the Charlize Theron dilemma all over again. So
Oh, yeah,
Charlize,
definitely.
Oh yeah.
yeah, she adopted 2 kids, I wanna say, like, 5, 6, 7 years ago from, like, Africa. They both happen to be trans now, but she's complaining, "Oh, nobody wants to marry a single mother with 2 kids," and she's approaching 50. The one long-term relationship she did end was because she wanted to focus on her career and he wanted a family. So, I find it, and Taylor Swift is very much the same. I think the whole love thing, I think most of her relationships are honestly just all there for
Stage
attention.
publicity and stuff.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
just it works in her favor because she's always
Material for her
known as
albums.
exactly. Oh, another Taylor Swift album is coming
Yeah.
out. It's going to be a banger kind of deal, right? So I don't think her hunt for love is genuine at all.
No,
So
it's
that
not.
just kind of, and it's going to be a point where she's going to have all of her money in like 10 years, we'll say. And it'll be a Charlize Theron. Well, why won't anyone marry me? Or I'll adopt kids, and now why doesn't anyone want an African child with me? Kind of deal. So
Mhm.
Because, bitch, you a cunt. That's why.
We're just dropping the C word today, apparently.
I
I'm
know.
sorry.
you're not monetized. It's okay.
Yeah. Well, Vex, I know you have to go. We really appreciate you hopping on today with us. You were one of our people that were like top of the list. We're like, we have to get Vex on. So tell the people where they can find you next before you hop off.
Thank you for having me on. It's nice to meet sane ladies on the internet. So thank you for having me on. I'm like really honored that you guys reached out to have me on. Where am I gonna be? Just follow me on Twitter. Follow
Okay.
me on Twitter at Vex Electronica, all one word, and then my YouTube is also at Vex. Anywhere you see Vex Electronica, it's me. I have that moniker on literally every social media site. So yeah, I'm usually on basically a stream a day, and next weekend, as a Christmas present to everyone, I will have a Aquaman 2 review out probably on the 24th.
Also wanted to mention this. I'm so sorry. Yes,
I
we didn't
forgot
get to
about
this.
this too.
I forgot about this too. Miss Sassy Sasquatch put a GoFundMe because Canada's basically trying to fuck you wrongly.
Canada's being a cunt.
Yes,
Mhm.
Canada's being
Yeah.
a cunt to you. So if anybody out there, it's the Christmas season, be charitable. Please, the link is in the description as well. Please,
I'm pretty
if you
sure we're
can.
gonna close it this weekend too, because
Bring Vex to America.
Yes.
This
Yes.
is actually
Help
a separate
bring it
issue.
in.
This is a separate issue, actually, not even related to immigration. But I do have a court date for the ticket that I did post on Twitter.
Oh,
so
that's
I
coming
need
up
to-
pretty soon.
Yeah, it's
I-
gonna be in the new year, so I gotta pay the lawyer. So I think we're gonna be closing the campaign probably this weekend.
Okay.
Okay, so for interweb people
Or
out there, if you can
whatever
donate,
you guys can.
yes, please. And again, the link is below. Even if you can't donate, share the link, post it on your social medias, get it out there into the interwebs, let people know so we can help bring Vex home to the good old USA.
Oh no! It's so
Yes.
the Canadian government won't. Again, two different issues.
I know it's two different issues because if we
Yeah.
can solve this issue, hopefully we can get the other issue.
Oh no,
solved.
that's a whole other issue. Then you need to contact the U.S. government for that issue.
Right,
Unfortunately,
U.S. government. Let's bring her up. But this issue to at least stop Canada from
yes.
fucking her over, basically.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
please,
Mrs.
yes,
Sassy.
yes, Miss Sassy. I should have just had her hop on and just explain it. She's way better at it than I am. But yes, again,
Thank
the
you,
link
thank
is
you.
in the. Go ahead, Vex. Sorry. Thank
Oh,
you
no,
very much.
Yeah, thank you for sharing. Yeah, I forgot about the GoFundMe campaign. So thank you
Just
for
not
that.
prepared.
Yeah. Seriously, thank you to everyone who already donated and just shared the link and even just sent me messages. Like that alone means the world to me. That a bunch of internet friends are just like, save this one brown girl in Canada that the U.S. won't let in for some reason. So
Once you finally get into the U.S., though, a Vegas girls trip, please, let's do it.
I really want to go to. I wanted to get married in Vegas originally, but then it turned out that because of lockdowns, we couldn't. Like, there's a package that you can buy in Vegas where you can rent a helicopter at night.
Yes.
And they'll marry you
Ooh.
in the copter while you're going over the strip.
Oh,
So I wanted to do that, but because of COVID, they had shut down that entire option. So we just did the park / swamp wedding.
You could always renew your vows, or like I said, girls trip. Just come out.
Yeah.
We'll do something.
And we'll still get married over the strip.
I mean, if it gets you to the States, I'd be willing to marry you. I mean, it's okay.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, ladies. Have a great rest of the stream, and also Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. In case I
Merry
don't-
Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Vex.
Happy New Year.
for
Bye.
being
Happy
here.
Boxing Day. Bye.
Bye. Oh, Vex.
Oh, I like this. Sister wives.
Oh.
Wait a minute. I think I know what that means. Never mind. I know what that
Come on,
means.
no. Oh, no, Nadia.
No, Nadia. No.
So we have about a half hour left, and I know Lily wants to talk about the Golden Globe nominees because I know her guy got nominated for Best Supporting.
Two of them.
So, two of them. Sorry, two of them. I'm sorry that you kind of dip it both ways. Okay. So I thought we would just review what's been nominated. I know is the Critical Choice. I've never heard the Critical Choice Awards. Is that like
awards?
Is that like the MTV Choice Awards?
No, this is like
Okay.
this is during award season. I think your top ones are the Golden Globes and then your Oscars. And then there's like other smaller ones, and the Critics' Choice Awards kind of fall into that one. But
Okay.
whoever starts winning in the like smaller tier ones, I guess, kind of predicts who's gonna take the Oscar in the end. So that's why a lot of people like to watch kind of like all the award shows, because like if they win this one, they're probably going to take the Oscar home too. And then it's just kind of interesting. I haven't watched it. The only award season that I finally watched last year was because of Austin Butler, that he was nominated for everything for Elvis.
Yeah.
And then he lost the Oscar at the end. So I was very upset about that. But hopefully it goes better for Ryan Gosling.
So what do
Maybe.
you want to review first? Do you want to review Golden Globes or Critics' Choice?
Probably the Golden Globes. That way we
Okay.
can just do those and then probably like do the Christmas movies.
Yes.
That way we don't have to go through like the Critics' Choice.
Okay. Beautiful. So here we go. Here is the Golden Globes. I will tell you, I don't watch reward shows. I don't think I've seen the Oscars for years. It's become, especially since they snubbed Leonardo DiCaprio for a long time. I'm like, this is just like who you know kind of thing. But we will see. So for Best Picture Drama, because it's category, we have Oppenheimer, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Past Lives, The Zone of Interest, and Autonomy of a Fall. Which, by the way, Autonomy of a Fall is a really good movie. I highly actually recommend it. It was a not what I was expecting going in. Very satisfying. I would recommend it. But what are your predictions, ladies? Who do you think is going to win?
The only one I've seen from there is Oppenheimer. So
Yeah, that's me too. And
that's the bad thing that every single year I'm like, oh, I'm gonna try to watch more of these like nominated films, and then I never end up watching any of the other ones, just like the super popular one. That is so bad.
And for me, it's like, because I've heard of Killers of the Flower Moon or whatever, but a lot of times what happens to me every year with this stuff is that some of the nominated movies I don't even recognize. Like I'm thinking to myself, did I ever see like a trailer for this, or did this come out on like it's kind of some of them I just don't even know.
Well, that's why a lot of people don't watch them, because this is basically just like all of these directors and actors nominating each other for all of these things that none of us have even watched. Yeah. So like normie people are going to be like, woohoo, Barbie, because it's like the only movie they recognize out of the whole bunch.
Exactly.
Well, it's interesting to me because a couple of these are straight to stream availability movies. And in the past, it's always just been box office movies that have just been in the theater. So it's interesting that now like Vex was saying earlier, there have been some really good bangers on streaming services this year, more so than the box office. I haven't seen it, but I feel like they're just going to give it to Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, probably. That's what I was thinking too.
Because it's a Martin Scorsese film.
Scorsese film, yeah. They're just going to be like, oh, Scorsese, we haven't even seen it. Check the box. Kind of deal.
His name's on it. We'll take it.
Yeah. Now, Best Picture, musical or comedy. So we have Barbie, Poor Things, American Fiction, The Holdovers, May, December, and Air. And I will tell you, I think it's going to be The Holdover, because I keep hearing such good things about this movie. Anybody who I've seen it, loved it. It was unexpected. I know a lot of people think maybe Barbie, but I think it might be The Holdovers. What do you guys think?
And the one that I've heard a lot of buzz around is Poor Things.
Yeah.
Poor Things creeps me out a little bit. Just the concept of it.
It is a very creepy film. It's
like a Frankenstein kind of weird comedy, but she's like a child in her mind, but she's it's weird. It's a very weird movie.
Super weird.
I still kind of want to see it, but
go with your own discretion, draw your conclusion. It's not for everyone, but it is definitely
Oh, have you seen it?
Yes. It is it's unsettling for me because of the Frankenstein, the child, like the brain of the mother inside the child is what sends me, and then the acts that happen in it. So that's where I'm like, okay, like you were severely disturbed while writing this, and I'm not one for it. But I do see like the art they were going for it. It's more of like they're screaming about, but still it's something like I'm not comfortable with.
Now, Nomi, you told me I was going to like Barbie. Will I not like this?
I can't say for sure, but I think I think you might. Me, I came up upset, but I think since I know you well, you might be upset as well.
Okay, great. I'm locked in to go see this with a girlfriend. So
yeah,
great.
Yeah, good luck. Text me when that happens.
What about you, Mags, Dr. Rachel? What do you guys think might win?
I mean, I've only seen Barbie on this list, and some of the other things I've heard buzzes about, but like I can't really make a discernment about it because I've not seen the other movies to be able to make a clear distinction of which. I mean, I mean, there's some musical aspects of Barbie, but it just didn't seem like typically with musicals for me, there's like there's way more musical choreography and songs and dance routines than just every maybe 2 or 3 parts in the movie. And I'm sure Lily, you look like you were shaking your head too, like you were agreeing with me, like, nah, this is not a musical. So
It's not.
No.
It's not.
No.
They just had Ken's song, and that one song doesn't make it a musical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
I guess they're putting it in the. I guess they're putting the categories together because there's not enough musicals or comedies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
Yes.
But I just
Yeah.
I just don't know if it's. I don't know. It just doesn't. I can't really explain why it just doesn't make me feel like it should even be in this category to me.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Well,
I
I
agree.
also am curious from both of your points of views. Take away from not seeing it, you guys know the studio behind it and at least the hype around some of these movies. For me, I feel like these awards shows are more of a popularity contest versus the actual merit of the movie or whatever category. So, what do you think would win based off of that?
My thing is, I don't really like. I'm in the same boat as Mags. I don't know the other ones. I've heard some buzz around Poor Things and The Holdovers. The only one I know and I've seen is Barbie. I think they're, because of the popularity contest aspect, I think Barbie's going to do well in other categories, but I
Mhm.
just can't see them just giving it to Barbie for this one. So I'm going to assume maybe Poor Things. I think Searchlight might be good enough, like well known enough to take it. And there's enough buzz around that one that I know of. So I think Poor Things might get that one.
Okay.
But I can't see Barbie getting that category.
Yeah, me either. Because I think Barbie was like the highest nominated one with like 9 nominations, but I don't think it's gonna win.
I see Barbie more winning on technical effects, like obviously costume, the sets,
Yeah.
beautiful, like casting and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I don't think Greta Gerwig's gonna take it either with this
Oh,
one for
no.
sure.
This is
No.
a Martin Scorsese, 100%.
Yeah,
They're gonna give this
Yep.
guy.
Martin
He's at
Scorsese
the end of his
too.
rope, man. They're either Nolan or Scorsese, one of the two.
Yep.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah. Who is Celine Song? I don't even know.
No idea.
Yeah, see, I don't know. Half of these
I don't
people-
know either.
You're asking me.
I thought that said Celine Dion.
No, I thought that too. I was like, oh no, my dyslexic
Yeah,
ass.
she's
I
only
can't
Celine
read.
Dion that I know of, like Celine that I know of. So I just okay. All right, motion
Again,
picture.
With this screenplay, I think it's going to be Scorsese or Nolan, one of the two.
Yep. Again, they're going to go by names.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I really,
So-
really hope that Oppenheimer wins something big because that movie was
Mhm.
amazing. It was so good.
Do you think Oppenheimer would be as big as it is had it not had the whole Barbieheimer thing going on that weekend?
I think it still would have done well because there's a lot of people that are just fans of Nolan and they'll go see
Mhm.
like anything he makes. Like I'm usually one of them. I don't really understand a lot of his movies, but I like the way that he directs. So I'll give a chance to whatever he puts out. But Oppenheimer, I was really excited about. But I think it would have done well regardless. But
I
don't-
agree.
yeah.
Okay.
I just think the audience for Oppenheimer is so different than the audience that would go see Barbie. So I think it would have been about the same.
Yeah, me too. Because I really don't see like my brother. My brother was not gonna go watch Barbie.
Yeah.
We weren't gonna do like a Barbenheimer thing. It just
But to that, a lot of people who would not have seen Barbie went because of the Barbieheimer, and I think the vice versa too. A lot of people who weren't going to go see Oppenheimer because it's a historic drama, they're like this Barbieheimer thing. They just kind of want to jump on the wagon of just like the differences between two. So I think it also brought people into the theaters that wouldn't have originally saw those movies, at least not in the theaters. Like I still haven't seen Oppenheimer. I should really see it.
That movie.
I know.
Wait,
know.
What?
I
You
haven't seen it. No, I'm. Listen, Nomi, do you want me to go on my rant again? I'm not going to a movie for 3 hours and sit there with my tiny bladder.
There are some movies that you do sacrifice
I know.
3 hours for.
Listen,
Yeah.
This is one of them. And Dune 2 is going to be one of them too. I will sit there for all 3 hours watching it.
I can't. My bladder can't do it. I can't. Just give me an intermission. Just give me an intermission. That's all.
I think the theaters in Mexico have intermission. Just
so
saying.
I'll just.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like? 2 hours to get it through the border? I think from Vegas. Somewhere?
I mean, if you come where I'm from,
Straight down.
it'll be like maybe like a 20-minute wait. Nothing too crazy.
I want, believe me, I want to see it, and now they're bringing it back to theaters in January, Oppenheimer. So
Yeah.
I might just like, you know what, just time it and maybe just not drink any liquids that day, and just go in like a dried raisin and hope I don't have to use the restroom. And I also hope they bring Dune 1 back, because I still haven't seen Dune 1. I still am like holding out for the fact that like maybe they'll bring it back to theaters. The whole reason I didn't see it originally is because I wanted to read the book first before going in to see the movie.
The book first before the movie is dedication, because that is a long book.
Yes, it's a big boy. It's over there. It's like this thick. It's huge.
Yeah.
It was worth it though. It was worth it. I mean, I like fantasies and stuff like that. Okay.
I read half of it. I haven't read the last half because I don't want to spoil myself to what happens in the second movie.
That's interesting. I would think you would want to see if they adapted it well, but I never thought about spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that.
Austin Butler's in that too.
Okay.
So he's playing the bad guy in that one. So I'm definitely going to go see that one when it comes out.
So best performance by an actor in a motion drama. We have Bradley Cooper and Maestro, which I've not heard of Maestro. I don't even think I've seen the trailer for it.
Hopefully Cillian Murphy.
I think Cillian Murphy.
Such a good job.
Leonardo DiCaprio though, but I also don't think Killers of the Flower Moon had a big enough buzz as it did, as Oppenheimer did.
See, because like that one was so long too, but I just, for some reason, every single time the trailer would come out, I just wasn't interested.
Yeah, I will watch it eventually because it's on, I think it'll stream to Apple eventually, and it's longer on Apple than it was in theaters. God. I should just get back into movie making. Make my movies 88 minutes. Done.
Yeah.
Tell my story in 88 minutes. Done. Oh man.
You can do it. I believe in you.
And because I'm Middle Eastern and a woman, oh man, I'd be directing a Marvel film in like a year. Nobody got my joke.
Go ahead and scroll past.
No, I got it. I was like, I'm thinking you'd be more than directing, honey. You'd be taking care of like a show and a movie, and like you'd be given like a whole trilogy of stuff.
I want to point this out. Cillian Murphy is great in Peaky Blinders. Peaky Blinders had the same effect where the first couple of seasons were fantastic, but then it got repetitive towards the end. But I still loved that show. It was very good. Do recommend it. I think where are we? Okay, we think Cillian Murphy.
Yeah.
By popularity.
Yeah.
Anybody object that?
Yep.
No.
Okay. Oh, by the way, fuck this movie.
Why?
There's a scene in this movie. How do I say this so delicately? There's a scene in this movie where a guy licks up another guy's
Oh, we don't need to get into that. Just get to Ryan Gosling. That's what I'm waiting for.
off the rim of like a bathtub.
No. Oh
Okay. Yes. So, yeah. If that's your thing, go for it. But yes. Best performance by an actress. What do we think here? I think this lady, because she's gotten such a big hype because of the
Yeah,
Killers of the
probably
Flower
her.
Moon. There's like
Mhm.
fucking million articles about her everywhere. Any objections? I'm moving through this fast.
Yeah.
I
No,
mean, yeah,
I
Oh,
agree.
go ahead, Max.
No. I'm just saying. I agree. I've seen her. I've seen her all over the place. So
Just because Killers of the Flower Moon is her breakout film, so go for her. Good for her.
This is going to be interesting because I really like Jennifer Lawrence and No Hard Feelings. I actually thought that was a pretty good comedy. But I really think they're going to give it to Barbie.
I don't think she's gonna win.
You don't think Margot Robbie would win?
No, I don't think so.
Do you
They're
think
either
Margot?
it'll probably be Natalie Portman or Emma Stone. Maybe
I thought-
Fantasia.
Not Jennifer Lawrence?
No, because they usually don't really reward comedies.
That comedy's really good, by the way. It is on Netflix.
It's pretty funny. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay, now we get to musical. Holy cow. Is he a supporting actor? No,
Yeah, he's a
that's some
supporting
BS.
Down on the bottom. Yeah.
All right, best performance of actor in a motion musical and stuff. I haven't seen Wonka, but I hear really good things about it. But I think I don't know. Maybe Nicolas Cage, because I hear Dream Scenario is pretty good too.
I don't know. That one is like pretty stacked with a lot of really good people.
Yep. That's a lot of big names in that one. It's
So
it's
best
tough for me to
supporting
pick it.
actor. So I don't even think Ryan's gonna win his category either.
You don't think? I think he would, because Ken.
Think so.
Oh, I think so. The reason why I disagree with you is because he's become a meme and he's like a pop culture icon now as Ken. I feel like they have to give it to him at this point.
They do the opposite. They always go for like the most obscure thing that you have never seen in your life, and then they'll give that. He might win the Critics' Choice Award, or he might win the People's Choice Award, because in that one we can actually vote for it.
Mhm.
So he might win that one, but these, it'll be like I'll be super surprised if he wins any of these categories, because you've already got Robert Downey Jr. with Oppenheimer. He did amazing in that movie, and then you have Willem Dafoe, Robert De Niro. I don't think so. I don't.
That's
think
true.
Yeah,
But if he does win, I know
I will
Lily's
go
going to throw a
crazy.
party.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw a party. I will be excited.
Actually, I'll make a deal with you, Lily. If he wins, we can do a Ryan Gosling stream. We'll just do one randomly. Not on Thursdays. We'll just figure out like the day after. It'll be like, if we got time, we'll just chill. We'll just talk about Ryan Gosling movies and stuff.
I think the guys will like that, because you know that meme they have that's like, that's literally me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Miss Sassy, if you don't mind telling me in the chat, what did you think of Wonka?
I actually
I'd be
kinda
really
wanna watch
curious.
it.
I have no desire because I love the original so much, and the first trailer for this new one looked a little.
Yeah,
eh.
I
It's-
agree.
It's very hard to beat Gene Wilder. I mean,
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't even like Johnny Depp's version either.
me
Mm-mm.
either.
best supporting actress, I think it's I honestly probably Emily Blunt or Jodie Foster or Julianne Moore. Fuck, man, it's pretty stacked.
Yeah, see, it's because they have so many like good people.
Any
Television series.
any opinions on it?
I'm just gonna be real honest. I haven't even heard half these movies, like Naiad, May, December, The Holdovers. I've never heard of those, so I'm just like so out of touch. I need to get.
May December is on Netflix. It's a Netflix movie.
Okay.
Yeah. And I haven't heard of Naiad. The Holdovers is that movie I was talking about. That's like it could almost be a Christmas movie, I'm told. It's like a heartwarming movie. It's supposed to be really good. Like everybody who's seen it tells me like it's worth checking out.
Okay.
Oh, look at you being a little minx.
Ooh, that's sassy.
just tell me if you liked it or not. You don't have to go into details.
No,
but I would
Nadia,
just
you
be
have to
curious.
watch the review. Just kidding.
Watch it anyway. But I'm just curious. Like, is it worth going to go see? Such a tease. Do you
Yeah, is
tease
it worth
Mr.
my money?
Cannoli like that?
Where's Mr. Cannoli to?
Is
Confirm.
Wonka worth Nadia suffering her little bladder to
Yes.
watch that movie?
That one's long too.
All of them are long. Listen, if you got to make your movies 2 hours or more, that's Nadia's threshold right there. Okay, if it's
Wow.
not streaming it. But again, I went to go see Godzilla -1 and didn't feel like 2 hours. And when I looked at my watch, I was like, "Holy cow, this movie's great." Listen, I'm old. Okay, if you can't tell by the gray hair, I'm old. All right. So best television drama. I don't care for any of these because the House of the Fall of Usher is not on this. So fuck each one of these shows.
I like The Crown.
The morning show's pretty good.
Morning show's good, but it's not the Fall of the House of Usher.
I mean, I watched The Last of Us, obviously, but it wasn't my favorite show.
Everybody talks about Succession like it's, the next
Yeah.
Sopranos.
Mm.
Mm-mm. In television, the musical or comedy. I don't think I've watched any of these TV shows, the comedy ones.
Ted Lasso's really good. I actually really enjoyed this last season. And then Only Murders in the Building, I liked it as well. I really need to get into The Bear. That's something I'm sleeping on.
So The Bear is very good. I would say it's probably one of the best TV shows in our generation right now, currently. It's very, very good. But to call it a comedy, no. It's it's a drama, maybe a dark comedy, maybe. But when Chris and I watched the first season, we were blown away by it. It also takes place in Chicago, where I'm from, and it reminded me of where I grew up, all about Chicago and growing up in restaurants.
Mhm.
If you have not seen The Bear, I highly recommend moving it to the top of your list. I really do.
Okay.
Because it's so good. But again, they call it a comedy. And I would be genuinely curious. No, has anybody else seen it on this panel?
No.
Mags?
I'm sorry. Sorry. I was
Bear?
trying to respond stuff.
It's okay. Have you seen The Bear?
No, I have never heard of it.
Okay. I highly recommend putting it on top of your list. But if anybody in the chat has seen it, I know Miss Sassy has. Maybe you might disagree with me or not. I really wouldn't label it a comedy first. I would label it a drama first before labeling it a comedy. But again, really great. So good. It's just, I can't explain it. It's beautifully directed, acted. It's perfect. It's perfect in all ways. So I highly recommend moving it to the top of your list to check out. At least season 1.
All right. Well, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so we have best performance by an actor in a television series drama. I know who Lily's voting for.
I hope he wins, guys. This is like the first time he's been nominated for like anything.
Was he never nominated for
no, because he's
Game
never
of Thrones?
he's never done anything that he's been like a lead besides The Mandalorian, but I mean The Mandalorian's kind of different. He's not gonna get nominated for something like that. But yeah, this is like the first nomination that he has for anything. So I'm like, I don't care if that TV show sucked. I didn't enjoy it. I really hated it. I liked his performance with what he was at least given. But I hope he wins. I just want to see him win.
I really think Brian Cox is going to take this from
No, I'm
Succession.
just kidding.
I know, no. I thought
No, I'm gonna bust out with all my brujeria and all my.
I'm on your team. I'm on Team Pedro because I think Succession is people blow Succession too much. Like I think it's overrated. But I'm with you on it. I liked his performance in The Last of Us, but I feel like they're gonna either give it to Gary Oldman or Brian Cox.
Yeah, because look at how many people are nominated for Succession. Like that's kind of crazy.
3 of 6.
Yeah.
Slow Horses is the only one on this list I've never heard of, but I love Gary
don't know
Oldman, so I have my fingers crossed for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's already won everything.
Yeah, and you should keep winning more.
Yeah, he's a good actor. That's why he wins.
I know,
Yeah.
but Michael's good too. I know everybody hates him because
I don't hate him.
but
He hasn't
He's
been
a good
around
actor.
longer than Gary Oldman. Gary Oldman is like a classic.
yeah, but he's been doing good too, though.
So we have the actress nominee. Wait, by the way, I thought it was a couple years ago that they decided not to go actresses or actors. They just called them actors because it was discriminatory to call them actresses. I thought that was like a hype thing a couple
I don't think
years
it worked
ago.
out in their
That was-
favor.
Mm.
I don't
like,
think that was
Bella
for the
Ramsey-
Golden Globes. I thought that was for like some other.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe the
award show.
Oscars.
I don't think it would
Maybe.
work out in their favor because, like Bella Ramsey, she's a they them. That's how she labels herself. So, like, what category would they put her in, or they
Both.
or whatever? You know?
Interesting.
Both increase
Yeah, I
their
didn't even think
chances.
about that.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Well,
Honestly, I think it's gonna go to what's her face for The Crown, because I know that show's been on
Imelda.
for a while.
Mhm.
That show is so good.
Is it worth the time investment?
I actually like it. I mean, a lot of stuff is dramatized. It's not really probably what happened, but they hit on like the bigger things. I still need to start the new season. I think this is their final season.
I'm a fan of Matt Smith, so and I know he plays young Prince Philip. Yeah. Yeah, I did. Okay. Best actress in a TV show, musical, and comedy. I like none of these is standing out to me.
Oh, I like I like Elle Fanning. That TV show I
Oh,
think
The
is
Great?
amazing. I love that TV show. It's like the best satire ever that they touch on so many things that we kind of don't like the independent, strong woman, blah, blah, blah. Like they really lean in on it. And then in the TV show, it's like very self-aware that she's even aware of it, that she's like, wow, this kind of sucks that I have to like kind of be this way. And everyone around her tells her like, stop being such a bitch. Like nobody likes you. It's amazing. It's so good. Because when I first saw it, I thought it was gonna be like Bridgerton, because they have a lot of different people that are very like diverse from all whatever. So I was like, ew, I guess it's gonna be like Bridgerton, and it's really not. At the beginning of the title, it tells you a very, what does it say? Like a very inaccurate telling of history. So it'll tell you that it's making fun of itself within the story of Catherine the Great. It's hilarious.
So not historically accurate.
It's not historically
Okay.
accurate at all. But they made it super fun. I love watching it. I still have to finish the season that came out too.
Have you
But-
seen the Tutors or whatever it's called?
I think I started watching it, but I couldn't get into it.
Okay. Anybody
Nope,
else?
Never seen The Tudors.
Nope, me neither.
Okay.
Nope.
Young Henry Cavill's in it.
Yeah. He was,
Oh. So that's the reason why.
A lot of these are just, I feel like, very boring categories. But I
Yeah.
feel with the best actor here, I really hope it's Bill Hader. I like Barry. I thought Barry was very good. I thought it concluded very well. But I feel like they're going to give it to Jeremy Allen White for The Bear.
Mhm.
yeah. I just wanted to get to Ryan Gosling and Pedro Pascal.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
No one else
Totally
matters.
priorities, right?
Yes,
Yeah, we're
priorities.
getting
I'm
into
like, all the other
territories that I've
categories,
never
I'm
heard of.
like, whoever wins, I don't care. Go
Yeah,
That's
Dr.
like the
Bird-
TV series, and they didn't even include the Fall of the House of Usher. Get the fuck out of here. I'm done. I'm done with
Well,
this.
Dr. Rachel just said it. Like we're going into categories like we didn't even know that this. Would be
No, I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't know the categories. We don't know like any of these. And
No.
there are two movies that I'm just disappointed didn't even make any of these lists because I browsed through it. One is Five Nights at Freddy's. I absolutely
Yes.
loved it. And the
Hmm.
other one that I feel a lot of people slept on was A Haunting in Venice. That
Yes.
was
Yeah, that was good.
fantastic.
That
was
was a good movie.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
So there-
forgot
I
who
loved it.
suggested it on the panel, but I watched it and I was like, oh, this is a really good movie. I enjoyed it.
The reason
That's
why
probably
I
my
slept
favorite
on it.
movie of this year.
The reason I slept on it is because the prequels, because I know it's part of like the Murder on the Orient and
Mhm.
Murder on the Nile. Murder on the Nile wasn't that great, so I was like, I don't really want to
That's okay.
continue. But it surprised me. It definitely
Mhm.
surprised me. I would go 1, 3, and then 2 never existed,
Fair.
or 3, 1, and 2 never existed.
That's what I would order mine, yeah.
Yeah, 2 just never existed. But we are at time, so I want to thank everybody for joining us today in the chat with how all over the place I was. So I appreciate, and my panelist for having such patience with me today. Want to thank our guest Vex. So as I say that, Lily, tell the people where they're going to find you next.
Well, you can find me on Twitter or X, for sure, under 300 Mirrors. And well, you can find us here every other Thursday. So the next one's going to be on the 28th.
Yes.
So catch us back here on the 28th. And then we do a Game of Thrones stream on Mondays on Legion Talk. So, and then Fridays we do Friday Night's Royal Rumble on Legion Talk as well. So
Beautiful. And Dr. Rachel, where can people find you next?
Just keep an eye on my YouTube channel, Outerline Crafting. I make all different kinds of crafts and stuff. I want to do maybe 1 or 2 things for Christmas. I make a lot of, like I said, different kinds of art projects. I love making homemade cards, especially pop-up ones. So I want to do a short video on how I make those, and maybe one on wrapping, because I consider myself a very neat wrapper of presents. So I got the idea from these ladies, actually. So I want to do something about that. But yeah, just been very busy lately. That's why I'm not even on camera right now. My room is a mess, and I look like a horrible mess. But yeah, be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, you can just see me talking about whatever I want on Twitter.
Very cool. Mags, where can people find you? I know everywhere, but where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter, YouTube, Rumble, Kick. I don't want to mention Twitch because I haven't done anything on Twitch, to be quite honest. But now I'm like, I don't want to ever do anything on Twitch at this point. But anyway, yeah, you can find me in all of those places. I'm usually in the chats trying to, I like to talk to people everywhere, and I don't know. I just like to watch different things. But anyway, you can find me everywhere. You can usually find me on places like Comics Division and Comics Toxic Femininity on Midnight's Edge. But this month has just been crazy, as some people know about my personal stuff. It's I don't know. I may be quiet for a little bit, so I might you might see me in the live chats talking to everybody, but I may not be doing too much. So anyway, go follow everybody here, y'all. They're great. They produce a lot of good stuff and have some awesome takes. So we need more female voices out there fighting this crap. So.
Mm-hmm.
And Nomi without you, where can everybody find you next?
You can find me mainly on Twitter. If I retweet it, that's where I'll be. I'm usually a lurker, but that's where I mostly hang out on Twitter. And you'll be seeing my videos on my channel coming up pretty soon. I got a good lineup of videos ready to post. And I'm usually hanging out with Lily on Friday Night Royal Rumble and the Game of Thrones stream on Mondays. But I do have another job that kind of keeps me from going on stream. So like I said, if you see me retweeting it, that's where I'll be.
Very cool. And for me, you'll find me on Inside All Day Podcast as Player One. Saturday, we'll actually be premiering a new stream called 1001 Masks. This will be our D&D stream that we're putting together with a couple really cool content creators. And then I will next Sunday, I'll be on another stream, and I believe I'm on Zach's next Wednesday too. But you can follow me on Twitter. I post all the time. I'm probably on Twitter way too much for how much I post. Yeah, Lily's like, yeah, you are not.
No,
Yes, you are.
I'm all the same. You get lost. You get lost on there. You're like, all right, just a little bit, and then you see something else, and you follow all the threads, and yeah, before you know it, you're like, okay, I need to stop.
And I'll be dropping my first edited video that I've put together of my Braveheart reaction. I watched Braveheart for the first time. Spoilers, I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. And now I have like a 4-hour video to edit down. So that will be hopefully released this weekend. That is what I was working on earlier today. Other than that, again, I want to thank everybody in the chat, thank our guest Vex, and thank my panel for putting up with, with me today with the technical difficulties. And I hope everybody has a good night. Night, everybody.
Night, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.